Hey fam, what's up? It's me, Dr. O, and I'm just wanting to share some analysis about some of the conversations that have been taking place around race in this past election. Because I gotta say, I'm frustrated, and particularly as it relates to the conversations that have been taking place around black men, the role of black men, and the role of black women in this election. And it's just getting to a point where it's very frustrating, and let me explain why. I like in one of Chance's songs where he says towards the end, one of his lines when he's talking about black male and female relationships, he says that you know they'll try to convince you you're stronger without your woman than when you with her. And I think that that's a very powerful line to think about as we process what's going on in the election right now, because there's been so much conversation about how disappointed black people are with what's going on, or let me change that. There's been so much conversation about how black women have taken the lead in the Democratic Party, and black women have always been at the backbone of the Democratic Party, and all of that is true. There's no question about it. The challenge that I'm having, and I've been out there celebrating people like Stacey Abrams and so many people out there who've been doing this work, because people like her and so many others, they are heroes to me. And as I said in my post from the other day, Biden should call up Stacey Abrams and some of these other people and just be like, hey, whatever position you want, you don't even got to apply. So, I definitely of that mindset. And I know that black women have always been at the seat of the Democratic Party and always been holding it down. That's never going to change. And I'm always going to show that love and respect. The challenge that I'm having is that people, number one, are completely disregarding the role black men have played just because their percentage of voting for Trump or Republicans is slightly higher than percentages of black women who voted for Trump. And I think that that's really problematic, and it keeps us divided. And we spend a lot of attention on people like 50 and Kanye and others, but we don't pay attention to a lot of other guys who've been out there supporting Democratic candidates. I mean, Jay-Z has had support for Democratic candidates going back to at least John Kerry, pre-Obama, that people don't want to talk about. And you saw people like Diddy. A lot of people said Diddy could have done more, and Diddy rightfully got criticized for his hold the vote hostage nonsense, but eventually came out to support Joe Biden. And people talk about those things, and they deserve to be critiqued. But can we also talk about how Biden wouldn't even probably have had an election and left the primaries if it wasn't for Clyburn in South Carolina? How could we not talk about that, right? Can we not say that he wouldn't have as much support if he didn't serve the first black president in Barack Obama? My point is that there are many black men who are also responsible for Biden's success. And of course, black women have always done more. And I would love to say that it's equal. It's not. But black men are also doing a lot. And so we in the black community, we cannot let ourselves be divided by these conversations. And what it also does, which really is frustrating, is it takes the responsibility off of white people. We're talking about what, 18, 20% black men, or whatever the case is. But we're talking like what, 90% white men, white women. I think Vox said that white male support for Trump might have been down like 2 points, but every other category for Trump support actually rose, including white women. So what this reflects to me is low expectations that people have of white people. This idea, well, black people, you should know better. Well, black people, you should know the history. White people should know the history too. White women, white men, they should see the misogyny, the disrespect, and all of that, and should be able to be called out too when the numbers and percentages are, 54%, 65%, 80%, depending on whatever demographic. That deserves more critique. And we need to stop giving white people a pass to just say, well, fine, we expect you to understand that you're just going to support a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, anti-Semitic president? I don't think so. And so really at the end of the day, we need all hands on deck. We got Georgia coming up. And I believe that in the black community, we have to stop being divided and fighting over small percentages. If you look at any other industry of any other thing, if somebody was just doing 10% or 15% of the work, they would not be looked at as doing something great. I mean, if they're so with Trump getting that small percentage of the vote, hey, I got news for people. Every black person is not the same. All black people don't think alike. Yes, there's going to be small percentages, but you can't, as Joe Madison says, minimize the maximum and maximize the minimum. So really at the end of the day, what I'm hoping for is that we have a more nuanced conversation about this, that we stop pitting black men and black women against each other in these political debates that are going on, because really it doesn't serve our greater interests. I think that black people, male, female, whoever they are, whether it's 50 or Candace Owens or whoever, who we feel need to be called out for their stances, we call them out. And I feel like we also need to do the same for white people and other groups as well who are supporting this racist administration. I mean, and it's even transferring over to the political conversations as well, because people are giving Republicans a pass as if they don't have to do anything to work for unity. And just because they got a couple of seats in the House, people acting like they won the majority and the presidency. And people are talking about Republicans as if they have to be coddled in some way, shape, or form. Well, if they don't want to do the work to help unify, that's on them. We saw McConnell's speech just talking about that as well. He's down with Trump going out there and getting, fighting this 100%, so on and so forth. So, we just need to stop doing that. So my hope is that, as we do this, post-mortem or whatever, and analyze this election at a deeper level, that more of us will stop having this debate about who's carrying the Democratic Party, who's doing more. Both black women and black men are doing a lot. And we can't get caught up in these small percentages as it relates to the overall vote, because it keeps us divided. I'm going back to what I said in the beginning, quoting Chance the Rapper. And I know Chance got criticized, rightfully so, for his stance in the beginning as well. But like I said, they'll try to, like he said, they'll try to convince you you're stronger without your woman than when you're with her. And we need to be together. We need to have all hands on deck. We need to critique the people, need to be critiqued, but we need to just get on, let's praise everybody, all the black male and female who've been involved in this work. Let's give them all praise. We start with the black women, no doubt. That's where I start. But let's start to build more together, because the overwhelming majority of us did not go for the racist president. Can we start there and build from there, so we're building off of a point of positivity and not negativity? I believe that we can. What say you? Let a brother know. Peace.